Hello, John McConnin here with the San Diego Home Value Report. We're going to look at Carlsbad and a few other zips. First, let me just look at, here's the median sales price for 92009. We see it's starting to slide a little bit there. We see the same thing in 1-1. We see similar in 1-4. We see similar in 3-7. Oh, that's 13. I don't even know where 13 is. 3-7. We see 7.5. This Solana Beach 2.7 is La Jolla. Now we did see 2.4 actually go up. There is low inventory in there right now still. At least the prices, the houses that I was looking at for clients. And I saw, not surprisingly, therefore, sort of, don't tell an Encinitas person, Cardiff is Encinitas. Or no, I'm sorry, don't tell a Cardiff person it's Encinitas. But a Cardiff person would go nuts and say Cardiff is not Encinitas. But, Cardiff is holding in there. But overall, if you go through the zips on my website here, San Diego, this would be San Diego Home, ho.me up here. And there's the San Diego House Values page with the dashes. Another way to see this report would be to go to the home page. Actually, it's a better report. You go to the home page, it's much more detailed. You fill that out, and you get that. So we saw, what does it mean that the median home price might be sliding? The median sales price might be sliding. Does it mean prices are coming down? I think it means that we saw in the spring a crazy market, very low inventory, and the buyers were paying up for the top picks in the fall, in the early spring, which is why if you're a buyer, and you see houses you like now, historically, it might be time to move on them because the top ones go early in our spring season in San Diego, the last 4 or 5 years. And then you've got prices go up, and then you've got some houses that aren't so nice trying to get too much money. Then the buyers back off, and we stabilize. It gets a little confusing in the late spring and the summer. Is it going up? Is it going down? And then historically, as we just saw, we start seeing the prices fall off a little bit in the fall. So, and you're saying, well, John, how do I know that's just a statistical anomaly? Well, I can say, or your database was a fluke. Now, I'm not positive the database is coming from a different database, but I can say that I do believe my, I'm going to try to pull this over here, my realtor database, and especially when the realtor database is backed up by the tax database. So I'm going to pull 92009 over again, frankly, because I was researching my own listing. And we know realtors selling. We know the market slowed down. I got a head. I should post something. I'm going to maybe post a link to that. I got an email from my hedge fund buyer on one of my listings that backed away. He said they were having trouble selling their own listings, so they weren't buying right now. But here it would be a rundown of median sales price to current value. That's we can go over that some other time. Let's get to the point. The median sales price in the tax database is 92009 is the orange. The city's Carlsbad is green. Looks like it's falling off a little. Median sales price again, falling off a little. Tax in the MLS database. Median list price is definitely, here's a big one, and the MLS is sliding hard. So I think that we're seeing what you would expect in the fall. Prices have been coming down cyclically. I'd say the last 4 or 5 years. By the end of the fall, people start getting a little pessimistic because when prices are upside down. And I would get 30 listings because I had UpsideDownRealEstate.com as a website. I'm also a lawyer, and a lot of people wanted short sale help from a lawyer. And my listings would just come flying into the office in the fall when people got a little pessimistic. Then the spring would happen. It happened again. The smart buyers are out in late November, December, January. The houses were closing in January. And so much so that one of the realtors in my office picked off the most amazing price on an investment in January. So the houses taking offers in November and December, closing in January, were sort of have been the bottom of the market for a long time now. And then, the buyers came out in the spring. They took what was remaining, the best houses, and then what was left was the junk on the market, or the not as good houses, but the people still trying to get too much. I mean, I saw so many houses overpriced by $100,000 in the late spring, and then by the summer the buyers realized it too. But if you're a buyer, now might be the time to try to. There's actually in some areas there are some nice houses for now, not just the dogs, the houses on the busy corners or the houses that need. And I love repair. We do home improvement realty. We do renovation work, so we follow this, and I like it when that bad houses need some work. But if you're a buyer and you want to, a home you want to move into, or the one that's across from the park, or the one that's walking distance to the school, or whatever, there are some of those now. They weren't there a few months ago. They were already purchased in the early spring, actually a year ago. This is the time to be looking if you're a buyer, in my opinion. And if you're a seller, that's the same question. Is this indicative of cyclical and we're falling off and the spring's going to be good? Or when you see something like that, does that mean now it's time to put on the market? I'd say the easy answer is if you're looking to buy a different house, why not sell it now while you can? Because you never know if interest rates shoot up. We might go into a slow market again. If you're going to buy, because you're also going to get equivalent value possibly on your purchase. If this is the last sale you're going to make, well, then you probably need to be looking to see if there's a rental property. And if you could sell at any time, frankly, I don't know. It's sort of dependent on the Fed. If interest rates go up, you should have been selling now. If interest rates stay the same and we don't get a ton of inventory come on, traditionally buyers will come out and prices might go up a little bit. But if you're not on the market now, I think you do want to be on the market, maybe signing the listing paperwork, getting the pictures taken in December, and being on the market. I don't know what. San Diego's not a big holiday real estate town, but I would want to be on the market the day or two after Christmas, just in case. You got people in from out of town with extra money. You've got people who are getting transferred here. I mean, that would be my target date. I wouldn't be afraid to get on a little early, but I would want to be on for that early spring. If there's buying, it will happen in the early spring. We don't know late spring buying is going to happen. I mean, the whole market slowed down here in the late spring. So anyway, that's John McConnin. That was my macro view. I will do more micro views again for each town starting next week. John McConnin for San Diego CoastalHomeSearch.com, FavoriteRealEstate.com, and this website where I first got my data, SanDiegoHO.me, San Diego Home. Thank you.